Hey, it's your man, Bounce 83 for Successful Convicts, and I got some news for y'all. Man, y'all ain't gonna believe this. The rapper Gunna, who, unless you've been on a rock, you know who he is, but he was locked up with the rapper Young Thug, and they got locked up on a RICO case, and we already know RICO case. Even if you don't understand what it is, you know it's bad. But they both got locked up, but Gunna was released yesterday on December 14th, 2022. I'm gonna tell you how he got out. And I'm back. It's your man, Bounce 83 for Successful Convicts. And like I told you, I'm telling you about this dude, Gunna. He's a rapper from Atlanta who was locked up with the other rapper from Atlanta, Young Thug. Now, the question is he snitching? Well, he just got out from pleading guilty on a RICO case. Now, if you don't know what a RICO case is, RICO stands for Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations. Now, the real reason why Gunna, aka Sergio Kitchens, is in this whole thing talking about snitching. For one, he got out on a RICO act. That's a heck of a case to even try not to get life from, let alone get out with some probation. But years ago, he was on this Crime Stoppers type TV show where he was like a witness to a murder or something like that. And he gave his testimony. He said he wasn't snitching. He just was telling what happened or whatever. So now Gunna is in this big old RICO case that's involving all type of, like I said, bad crimes. When I say bad crimes, I mean crimes that you get a lot of times for and potentially life. So now he's involved in this. So it's already you on the fence because you were on this old episode where you were on this like Crime Stoppers type show and you was talking about a case where I think it involved the murder, but you kind of like told what happened. You didn't really tell who did or whatever. You just told your part or whatever. But that was already questioning your integrity. So now you got this case that you're on, and all throughout the case it's been questionable about whether he was going to snitch or not. Now, what he just got was an Alfred plea, which Alfred plea is kind of like where you plead guilty to something that you're saying you're innocent of, but you plead guilty to it. Matter of fact, let me read the definition of Alfred.
Personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance of the gang.
Yes, ma'am.
You were present when law enforcement officers stopped the vehicle in which you were present along with Jeffrey Williams, wherein hydrocodone, methamphetamines, and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you acknowledge the following statement? I recognize, accept, and deeply regret that my talent and music indirectly furthered YSL the gang to the detriment of my community. YSL as a gang must end. Is that your statement or acknowledgement?
Yes.
An Alfred plea, also known as a best interest plea, registers a formal admission of guilt towards charges in criminal court while the defendant simultaneously expresses their innocence toward those same charges. Like the similar nolo contendere plea, an Alfred plea skips the full process of a criminal trial because the defendant agrees to accept all the ramifications of a guilty verdict. The main difference between a nolo contendere plea and an Alfred plea is that in an Alfred plea, the defendant formally pleads guilty, while in a nolo contendere plea, the defendant refuses to assert either guilt or innocence. This distinction is relevant because unlike a nolo contendere plea, a formal admission of guilt under an Alfred plea can be used against the defendant in future suits. So in getting that plea, Gunna was sentenced to 5 years in prison, but it was commuted to time served, and he has to do the remainder of the balance of the sentence. That was suspended too, meaning that he has to be released from custody. And as a part of the deal, he got 500 community service hours. Now, this is where it gets kind of funky and that gray area of snitching, because you got to make a statement now. You got to think when you doing these pleas, these huge pleas like this, they're going to put you like on the gun. What they kind of do, in my experience, they kind of like put you in that thing where you pitted against the people, your peers. So it's almost like they're saying, look, they don't care about you. They want to do something to you. So you need to come on our side and we're going to protect you. So this is what happened. Gunna made this statement. He said, when I became affiliated with YSL in 2016, I did not consider it a gang, more like a group of people from Metro Atlanta who had common interests in artistic aspirations. My focus of YSL was entertainment, rap artists who wrote and performed music that exaggerated and glorified urban life in the black community. So, see, he's trying to say, oh, I'm just a rapper. I'm rapping about this stuff. I'm not really living it. While I have agreed to always be truthful, I want to make it perfectly clear that I have not, in quotations and capital letters, made any statements, have not, in quotations, been interviewed, have not cooperated, have not agreed to testify or be a witness for or against any party in the case, and have absolutely no intention of being involved in a trial process in any way. And this is just his statement to the people. He won't, because he got to obtain some type of integrity to continue his career, to start making money again. Because, the rap industry, even though, you got people like 6ix9ine and a bunch of other people who snitched, flat out snitched, he in that gray area. Because, you can look it up. It's all over online. He was in court and they made the prosecutor made a statement saying, hey, you were around YSL and they did this and they did that and they got caught with drugs and guns, but they weren't yours, right? And he's like, yes, ma'am. Oh, they did this and they did that, right? He's like, yes, ma'am. So in my opinion, that's that gray area of snitching, because it's kind of like, I don't know what him and Young Thug, what they came to agreements about. Because a lot of times in some of these cases too, when it's like one or more, well, not one, but two or more people, sometimes they come to the conclusion that, hey, somebody's going to have to take the weight. Somebody's going to have to go down for this. And somebody's going to have to go out and take care of us that's in here. So sometimes people make an agreement that, hey, just put everything on me and then I'll do the time and you go out there and do your thing and you just take care of me while I'm in here. Another big thing that's been going down too is telling on dead people. That's that other gray area of snitching. That's really flat out snitching, but is it excusable snitching? I don't know. But I just had to say something about this because it pertains to the whole successful convict thing. We know how, in prison, that's a big discussion, snitching. Some people are snitch, some people not a snitch, some people in that gray area snitching and different stuff like that. I've heard, I can't say I heard it all, but I've heard a lot and nothing really surprised me. So I want you to subscribe to this channel, like this video. I want you to leave me a comment and let me know what you think about Gunna in this situation. Is he snitching? Is what he did commendable? Is it excusable? Is it something that would make you not listen to his music anymore? Does it discredit him from the hip hop, street rules or whatever? Let me know what you think.